You have got to be kidding me. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This has got to be fake. You guys, I don't know why y'all sent me this, but let's get into this article, man. It says James Gunn calls Batman movie awful in divisive resurfaced comments. This can't be real. This just cannot be real that he dissed Nolan's Batman. Oh buddy, oh buddy. Before I have any judgment, let's get into this article and see if it's actually legit. Oh, James Gunn has divided DC fans again after his past criticism of one of the most iconic Batman movies ever resurfaced online. Gunn has earned his stripes as the superhero custodian. He made Super a shut-up crime black comedy. 4 years later, he transformed a Z-list Marvel team into a household name with Guardians of the Galaxy in 2021. Following a tedious unsacking by Disney, he directed his own bloody, acclaimed Suicide Squad movie, and the year after, he brought John Cena's Peacemaker to the small screen. He's now sitting in the helm of DC Studios alongside Peter Safran, ready to take his heroes and rogue gallery into a new, more cohesive big screen era. However, while he's spoken at great length about his love for the comic book firm's characters and stories, there's one movie he doesn't appear to be a fan of. Spoilers for The Flash to follow. Nobody cares about that. James Gunn slams Tim Burton's Batman in old comments. In three resurfaced screenshots shared by My Time to Shine Hello and other users, Gunn rips into Tim Burton's first Batman movie with Michael Keaton in lengthy, harsh detail. No wonder James Gunn loved The Flash, once they tweeted, alluding to Keaton's Batman dying in the new film. I'll put those tweets up. In the first Facebook comment, Gunn wrote, Keaton did have a ridiculous voice. That said, I'd rather put up with a ridiculous voice than with horrible action sequences and acting barely worthy of the Batman TV show. I have no idea how you can think that the Burton Batman has more similarities with Moore or Miller's Batman and Joker than Nolan's does. And listen, I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't think either one is a classic. I don't even really think Batman Begins is good, but they're far superior to the first Batman. Wow, this is actually legit. I literally can't believe this. None of your defenses get by the fact that despite being the first cinematic dark take on Batman, so what? Stallone Judge Dredd was the first take on Judge Dredd. The movie is awful. In the second screenshot, Gunn described Jack Nicholson's Joker as Jack Torrance from The Shining, with shitty clown makeup. Everyone involved with the travesty. In the third, arguably most continuous comment, Gunn branded the soundtrack with Danny Elfman score, Prince music, and more as the worst work of everyone involved. He also criticized the decision to make the Joker responsible for Bruce Wayne's parents' death, as it is a notification of the bottomless thirst for vengeance that necessarily drives Batman. And then comes the real knockout blow at the end. Burton's Planet of the Apes is genius in comparison. DC fans react to James Gunn's Batman 1989 criticism. The comments have predictably ruffled some feathers. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But this guy is going to be not only the executive producer of the next DC films, but the next producer of the next Batman movie. And saying that the soundtrack is awful and Keaton and Nicholson acting is ridiculous doesn't really encourage me and giving me faith to these decisions. One user wrote on Reddit. Oh boy, this is sad. Oof. Saying the Batman score and Danny Elfman's worst work is an insulting take. The rest is opinion. So whatever, but the Batman score straight out another comment. How can anyone hate the soundtrack? Surprised to see this considered. I never thought it of him. But Gunn has very questionable taste, a third wrote. James Gunn can only dream that quality of his movies will ever touch Nolan's Batman trilogy or Burton's Batman movies. Another user wrote. I'll also post that. Some have pointed out that these comments came from an earlier time in Gunn's life. More specifically, they date back to the hangover of his trauma days when he was making overly edgy and contrarian and controversial comments and jokes. This is from back in his lollipop chainsaw super PG porn days. He was definitely putting on a specific persona at the time. Still kind of a trauma guy at the point, also who spent the time to scroll through 11 years of his comments on photos. This was difficult to find, one wrote. This post is pretty much from the exact era the posts that got him fired from Disney are from. Back then, he made edgy and purposely shocking jokes simply because they are edgy and shocking, a second commented. Other fans don't see why Gunn's opinions on previous DC movies should matter. I find it quite disturbing that there are people looking at the comments from 11 years ago on the internet accounts, to be honest, one wrote. These comments are from 2012. If this is a reason to be mad at James Gunn and the future of DC, please seriously get a life, another comment. Who cares? Can we stop digging up directors' decade-old opinions? People did it to Snyder too, and it was annoying as hell then too. People's opinions on movies change. I had similar opinions on Batman '89 too, but now I love it. A third wrote. All right, so these are really, really old topics. We have to really ask James Gunn because he's active on Twitter. We really have to ask him what is his take on these movies now. Nolan's trilogy, Tim Burton's Batman, because if his opinion is still the same on what he said about Batman Begins and Nolan's trilogy and Tim Burton's Batman, oh, DC, we're in for what we already know is gonna come, and it's gonna be worse. Oh man, it's hard to judge this because those tweets are so old. We would really have to ask him what his opinions are now, if they're the same or if they have changed. If James Gunn's opinions are the same for Christopher Nolan's movies and Tim Burton's Batman, I have to tell you, my faith going forward in DC has dropped a lot. It was already at a low, but then it's going to be even lower if his opinion is still the same on these movies. Because, bro, if you really judge Christopher Nolan's Batman movies and said they're not that good, Batman Begins wasn't that good, Tim Burton's Batman wasn't that good, like I just don't. I just it's hard for me to comment on that, man, because those are some classic movies. Those are great. Fans love those movies. DC comic fans love them, bro. Like Christopher Nolan's Batman movies is going down in history as the the best comic book movies, one of the best comic movies ever. I don't care what nobody says. That trilogy was good, and everybody hates on the Dark Knight Rises, but the Dark Knight Rises is very what do you call it? It's very underappreciated. Um, so yeah, we would have to ask James Gunn what his opinions are today, and if his opinions are the same, then yeah, we're doomed. If they have changed and he likes it more, blah blah blah. If it's changed, face a little bit more up. But me personally, if his opinion is still the same, oh man, if he didn't, oh man, yeah, that's crazy. Cause that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I don't know, man. I can't talk too much on it because we got to get his opinion now. If we know his opinion now, that'll give us more of a. It would just give us more knowledge of what we would expect because I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan. Guardians of the Galaxy is cool. I enjoyed the third one. I thought it was good. The second one was cool. The Christmas one they had was eh. The first Guardians of the Galaxy was cool. What other movies he did? He did Suicide Squad. Really wasn't a big fan of his Suicide Squad. It was okay. Wasn't a big fan of it though. What other movies did he do? I can't even think of any other James Gunn movies on top of my mind. I haven't watched Peacemaker, so I can't even judge that. Um, but yeah, from the movies I've seen to James Gunn, it's okay. Okay. We, all right, y'all. We hey go to Twitter. Don't harass James Gunn. We just gotta ask him politely. Are your takes still the same? We have to get this done. We have to know. I have to know. Maybe I'll ask him. I'll probably ask him. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought. If you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit that like, drop that sub, turn on the notifications because we doing the video daily. Y'all gotta let me know, man. If James Gunn's opinions are the same, are you what are you expecting from DC? Are you expecting it to be a flop and failure like most people are already? Or if his opinions change, do you think DC's in good hands, I guess you could say? Let me know in the comments down below. Catch y'all in the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers. Let's go outside. Let's.